Will I keep on practicing aerial silks and hammocks? Yeah, I do. I will. I can see myself doing this 20 years. I literally met a woman who was 60 and she still does it. And her body was T. That actually was my biggest inspiration. I'm gonna try to keep this up as long as I can because the women who are older that I see doing this, bodies be T, okay? Waist beware. I don't know. That's how I'm trying to be. Hi. I've been traveling the world. I've been learning a new instrument. I've been learning a new language. But that's not what we're talking about today. Today, we're talking about my love for aerial arts. So, a little bit of a fun fact about me. I've actually known about aerial arts since about 2018. Okay, I even worked at an aerial spot while I was in college. I worked at a spot that had trapeze, silks, hammocks, Chinese pole, lyra, the cube. Like there were so many apparatuses that this location had, and I had never heard about any aerial apparatuses until I got the job there. I will not be talking about the place because I got fired from the job, not because I did anything illegal. It's just that job, I was working that job while I was going to college and handling both managing the studio and being a college student. It was a lot on me, and my focus is I focused more on school, and that cost me that job. But that's okay though, because it was a part of the story that I'm about to share with you today. Okay. After working there, my eyes were open to aerial arts and the beauty of it, the benefits of it, even the drawbacks to it as well. And I kind of just stuck with it. Like I would say ever since then, I would on and off go to a class, not really take it as seriously, but know that was something that I had knowledge on, that I had done before, and that it's fun. And I continued on doing that for probably about 5 years, up until, I will say I continued doing it probably on and off all the way up until this most previous year in 2025. I went to a class and I went to a class in the spring and I was like, I actually missed this. Like, I actually know more than the average beginner. So let's see if I can take this a little bit further. So I started doing hammocks and silks together. Like I would try to take just as many silks classes as I would take hammocks because they're similar. And they're similar in the fact that they're a soft apparatus. They're called silks because they're actually made with silks. So it's not as hard. Oh, a little bit about me as well. So I would say I stayed within the aerial apparatus field, doing pole, having experience working at that studio. It's always kind of been something that was in the background. I did take a 2-year long break from pole, and when I tried to get back into it, all I can say is ouch. Okay, your skin definitely has to get used to pole, so it was very intimidating getting back into it. And let's not to say I'm done with it. I think I will pick it back up again, but right now that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about hammocks and silks. So yeah, those are soft apparatuses. They're, instead of made with steel, they're made with silk. So it was a little bit easier to get back into and pick up on a more frequent level. So yeah, since this past year, I've been frequently practicing, trying to get better at my skills. And I just decided that I will make a video today talking about my journey, talking about the pros and cons, as I mentioned before. Not pros and cons, more so the benefits and the drawbacks to it that I've experienced, and just share a little bit of my progress with you, because it's definitely something that I don't plan on stopping, and it's something that I can see me taking way decades and decades later, because I love the effects that it has on my body. I think that it could keep me where I want physical wise if I make this practice a hobby for years and years to come. And it's art, beautiful art with your body. Come on, I love this. So come along with me on my journey as I share with you my aerial apparatus progress. So as I mentioned before, this video will specifically be about silks and hammocks. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you the difference of those two right now. Aerial silks, as people call it, when they say that, they're mainly referencing the apparatus where the silks go all the way to the ground and they do not connect in the middle, whereas the hammock is a sling. You might hear people say the sling, and it's where it connects, and you don't have to, you can lay back on it, you can invert and not actually have to tie it together. Another difference between the two is that the silks that go all the way down to the ground, it's definitely more muscle heavy. I would say Out of the two, you need your muscles more so with silks because you don't have that extra safety net of it connecting. Like, you could fall straight through the two silks and hit the ground, whereas hammocks, you always do kind of have that backup, where, you know, if you do fall, 9 times out of 10 you're going to get caught up in the sling and it won't look pretty, but at least you won't hit the ground as hard. But so that's what I would say. Silks, you definitely need more muscle strength to hold yourself up and practice and make pretty poses, whereas hammocks, it's not easy. I wouldn't say it's easier. You definitely require more of like limb discomfort, because let's keep it real. When the silks are gripping and tugging on you, it could hurt. Like, just because, like I mentioned before, pole is a still apparatus, so you kind of have to get your skin used to it. It's the same, I feel like, with any apparatus, and silks, the silk of the silks and also the silk of the hammock are no different. You have to get your skin used to like that squeezing, like high tension, high pressure points, because like that's what making poses are. It's all dependent on, especially in the hammocks, where the silk is sitting on your body and how you're able to maneuver around that. So that's something to keep in mind too. Like, there is something to both of them, but the one thing I want to leave you with is that hammocks requires more strength, more upper body strength, also lower body strength to really hold you in that pose in between those two silks, whereas hammocks, it requires more limbs, so more like being able to handle the discomfort of like it like grabbing your arm or grabbing your thigh and like squeezing you. Like, all of your body weight is within that squeeze that's on your limb. So I would say those are the two physical differences that I've seen in it as well. Something that the hammock has taught me is to be comfortable with the discomfort. Like, there's some times where, like, in order to nail a good pose, you really just have to sit in discomfort, and it's a good lesson, you know. Like, I'm sitting in discomfort, my face is scrunched up, it hurts, and then I'm like, oh, and then I get down and I see the video I just took, and I'm like, wow, like, that looks so pretty. So it kind of taught me that, hey, you can be in an uncomfortable moment, it could be like not comfortable for you, but then when you look back at what you were able to do in that moment, it could be beautiful. So definitely a lesson that I've gotten from hammocks. Also, body awareness as well. Like, this is something, like, at the beginning of every class, instructors will ask you, did you pull anything? How's everything feeling? Is there anything feeling weird in your body? Like, because it's not something that you can go into, like, with the arm that you don't know why it's sore, or with a shoulder that's out of place. Like, you have to be good in your body before putting your body through that discomfort, or else you're just going to push your body past the limit that's not feasibly safe. So being able to kind of like check in with my body and have like a practice for that has been amazing for me, because I don't really gel well with yoga. I'm not really a running type of person. I try my best to do cardio, but it's always just a little slight warm up before weightlifting. Weightlifting is more my type of thing. I'm more like weightlifting and Pilates, and I feel like with those two practices that I already have, aerial benefits from that. So that's a little bit more about my like fitness background as well. So me personally, I practice both. I try to practice them equally, but just from my experience, it has been I will say it has been easier to find hammock classes, but like I told you, this is a hobby that I'm committed to. So I've even done aerial arts practices in other countries because I travel. Check out some of my traveling videos as well on my page. But so when I'm in America, it's easier to find hammocks, but I recently took a trip to Guatemala and El Salvador, and it was easier to find silks there. So I do like the idea of practicing both, so that wherever I'm in, whatever city or country I'm in, I could go to a class and not feel like, oh my God, I've only ever really worked out on silks, or I've only ever really practiced on the hammocks. I feel like I have a good base knowledge of both. And I do like the benefits of knowing that when I go to a silks class, okay, this is going to be like really workout intensive. Like, I'm sore the next day because I'm like holding up my body with my arms or legs. Whereas when I'm doing hammock, I know that I might feel like, you know, like I just got squeezed to hell. Like, it feels like more like a muscle massage, deep tissue. Okay, deep tissue muscle massage. And I can more so practice like within my flexibility, and like I'm better at spinning on hammocks as well. So practicing like with my balance there, like it gives me different benefits physically that I love them both so much. I honestly can't choose in between. Like, it just depends on what day I'm feeling like, to be honest. When I'm on my period, I'm definitely feeling hammocks because I don't have to do a lot of work and I get a deep tissue massage. But when I'm really feeling like I really want to sweat, I really want to build muscle, then I'm going to go for silks. Definitely what no one tells you is regardless of both, you're definitely going to have your grip strength. Like, I think when you look at it, it makes sense why you would need grip strength. But like when you get into it, this whole practice, this whole workout is dependent upon your grip strength. Okay, like there are exercises that they tell us to do in class for when our grip is fatigued, and also they also have grip spray. So everything is dependent upon your grip and like all of that. It's all dependent upon your grip spray, or not grip spray. It's all dependent upon your grip strength. So I can honestly say too, like, hopefully if I keep practicing this up until my 60s, my grip strength will be very, very good when I get older. That's what you need to know about both of the apparatuses, and that's what I've learned from doing both. And so now we're going to move on to a separate part. Now moving on to what Silks has taught me, upper body strength and grip strength. It also has taught me endurance, because like I said, if you want to just kind of give out and just give out and kind of just get down, or at least know that you have like a safety net, hammocks all the way. But Silks, baby, no. If you climb all the way up to the top and you in a move, you better make sure you got enough endurance to finish up that move and get back down to the ground, okay, safely, because ain't no just giving out when you doing Silks. It's a stint. From the moment you leave the ground to the moment you come back down to the ground, you're working out, you're using energy, you're using your muscles. It's all muscles. So you definitely need some endurance, and it's definitely taught me to like not even be overzealous. Like I will say, I practice with my hammocks. I do like to not hammocks. I practice with my Silks, and I do like to go up to the top and be cool and climb up there and do my poses. But then I'm like, oh shit, like I gotta get down. Like I exuded so much energy getting up here and doing the pose that now I have to literally unravel myself and get down, still using my muscle strength. So it's definitely taught me a lot about pacing as well, like pacing myself, making sure that I'm not just rushing to do everything and like using up all of my energy at the start. Like definitely a lot about preservation of energy and pacing. I talk about instructors because like I said, I've been doing it for the past year. I actually my first class this year was in Thailand. And that was just like, I hadn't done it probably for like a couple of months. And then I just kind of was like, oh, I know about aerial. I'm in Thailand. Like I'm going to go to a class. Check out my Thailand vlog to see how that went. But I will say that having an instructor, well, I say all that to say that I've had multiple different instructors in multiple different countries. So I've been able to kind of assess what I gel well with and the different types of temperaments in, I would say, teaching patterns and stuff like that. And from my experience, there's 2 buckets and a smaller bucket that's in between those 2. So I would say there's a little bit of an in-between. I'm not going to say there's no in-between, but very rare for that in-between. But the first big bucket is the very sweet teacher, the very beginner-friendly teacher, the very encouraging teacher. Like you do one little trick and she's like, good job, you did it. She's walking you through it. She's making sure you're understanding. She's talking slow. She's, encouraging to everybody. Like that's a good beginner teacher, okay? They're like sunshine and rainbows and everybody gets a trophy. Everybody gets E for effort. It's those type of teachers, and I love them. If I hadn't had them, I wouldn't have kept going. I can honestly say that. So we need those teachers in the world. The second bucket, these are teachers that don't play around. As soon as you touch the silk, they're barking at you. They're, go up. Okay, do this. Put your leg behind your head. Bring it to your back. Backpack it. Invert. They're just, I don't want to say barking, but they're spitting orders at you. They're spitting commands at you. They're trying to make sure that you have the movements ingrained in your head, because that's another thing with aerial arts. It's not like I can bring my phone up there and be looking at my phone to see what's the next move. You kind of have to, you have to remember the moves. And once you get into that silk, you gotta remember the moves. And once you get into that silk, have a good idea of what you're about to have to do. And that could be really challenging as well, because I honestly could probably say that doing these arts has helped my memory, because there's been so many times that I've gotten to a certain point in the routine of being in the apparatus and I'm like, okay, what do I do next? Best believe that the second group instructor, they're coming over. They're telling me the orders and they're saying fast and they not slowing. They not finna slow down to see if I got it. Those are the teachers I would say actually pushed me to improve my memory. I'm like, okay, I already know she don't play. Let me make sure that I remember what I'm doing. Let me make sure that when she come over here, I'm being quick on my toes. I'm listening to what she's saying. I'm letting it register, because again, I'm in this apparatus and I need to do this and get down. Basically. So Yeah, those are the buckets. I will call them the rain and sunshine bucket, and then we got the drill sergeant bucket. And they equally have a place in my heart. Obviously, if I went with a friend who never did it before, I'm hoping we're not gonna get the drill sergeant. We get the rainbows and sunshine. But when I know I want to improve, and I know there's something that I want to get, and I have a goal in mind that okay, I'm gonna get this today. Definitely give me drill sergeant all day long, because they even gonna tell me where I'm going wrong at. They even gonna tell me, what I need to be better in. Give it to me. Hand it over. Another thing that I've learned for both hammocks and silks is core strength, core engagement. That's what I've had to adopt. Like, you cannot do this without core engagement. Every part of it requires you to engage your core. And I've always kind of struggled with core strength. Like, I'm the type of person who would go to the gym. I'd work out legs, I'd work out arms, I'd work out back, but I would neglect my core, because in order to have a nice flat stomach, everybody knows it's so much that goes into it just outside of working out. And I ain't gonna lie, I like to eat. I try to eat healthy, but I ain't gonna lie, I like to eat. And I just never really had abs. So I'm like, why would I work out my core? Like, I don't actually need it. I'm never gonna get abs. But Ariel definitely humbled me in that sense. Like, abs. Not that you need them, obviously, because I don't have abs, but core engagement is the name of the game. This doing silks and hammocks will 1000% strengthen your core. Like, right now, I'm not even going for the look of abs. I'm just talking about a strong core. Okay, that's what I'll have if I continue to do it. That's what I need in order to be better with this art, aerial arts. Also, just trusting the fabric. Like, it could be so daunting to put all of your weight onto a fabric and try to do a move and maneuver and really not have a sense of solid ground. Trust me, I understand. It's for sure a mental hurdle that you have to jump over to just put your full body weight in the silk and trust that it will still be holding up once you move around and try to do different things. It's honestly to starting out, I would say that was my biggest mental hurdle that I had to jump over. But I've had instructors tell me, hey, this silk can hold up to 3,000 pounds. So don't feel afraid. Don't feel scared to really throw your weight into it, because it can handle it. And so I would say that is for sure something that I could understand when people say I don't know how you do it. How do you put your weight in that silk? It's a mental hurdle. I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, just trust in the fabric. That's what every teacher has told me, trust the fabric. I have enjoyed talking about aerial with you guys. This video is coming to a close. If you've made it this far, stick around. Why don't you like and subscribe and see if I could provide you any other things we could talk about? Drop a comment, okay? Let me know how long you've been doing it. Let me know if you thinking about doing aerial arts, okay? Let me know what city you in. I've been around the different cities. Like I said, I've been to Thailand, did aerial arts, Guatemala, El Salvador. Let me know. If you have a good studio you even recommend that I could go try and visit. Okay, at this point, I might call myself a traveling aerialist. Okay, a traveling aerialist. I like that. Yeah. But yeah, definitely give me some engagement, subscribe, drop a comment. I appreciate all of that. And thank you for making it this far. So I'm going to keep doing it. I'm taking this with me to every decade. And that's the thing about this. Say I get older, or say I have an injury, there's always some type of modification to continue your aerial practice. So I love the fact that it's already a practice to where you can show up any way, anyhow. You don't really need to be in tip-top shape, because this practice will help you get better. And if anything, it's given me such a great relationship with my body. I feel so much more present. I'm so much more aware in my body, and I can honestly say that it comes from my aerial journey and my aerial practice. And I'll just close it off with this. My aerial journey and practice has been a reminder to me that strength can be beautiful. Strength is also it's actually required of beauty. This isn't just movement for me. This isn't just working out. It's a reminder that strength could look soft. Okay. Discomfort could be art, and something as soft and beautiful as silks and hammocks definitely can hurt. But I love it though. Am I in the sunken place? Why do I like to hurt? I don't know. I'll have to ponder on that. That's a question for another video. But anyways, thank you so much for watching my video. I appreciate you for making it this far. And again, like, subscribe, and comment, and let me know how you guys are feeling today. And happy New Year!